Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hope you're going to have a good time. My name is Beth Gay Freeman, and if you'd ever like to email me, here is my email, bethscribble@aol.com. I get asked a lot of times what the scribble is, and I write and I paint, so scribble fits both. Also, I do a publication called Beth's Newfangled Family Tree, and it is free, no strings attached, and this is all you have to do to get it. Go to electricscotland.com, and here's the address. When you get to this, you'll find the latest issues are right there for you to see right now, and then the archives are right there as well. It's all free, no charge. You know, when you do genealogy, you really need to know so much more, and you learn a lot from your own genealogy. I've learned more history doing my genealogy than I ever learned in school. To start off today, this is sort of a potpourri of things today, things that we need to know, things that it's good to know. And this is a historical note. Among the signers of the American Declaration of Independence in 1776, there were three important persons who held degrees from the University of St. Andrews in Fife, Scotland. They were Benjamin Franklin, James Wilson, and John Witherspoon. Wilson and Witherspoon were natives of Scotland. Wilson was a Philadelphia attorney who later became Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, and Witherspoon was president of the College of New Jersey that we know today as Princeton. Benjamin Franklin was a leading statesman and philosopher, although his vocation was printer and publisher. His degree was an honorary one. Virginian Thomas Jefferson is credited with having authored the Declaration of Independence. In his background are Scots and Irish relatives, but his advanced opinions were influenced by his professors at the College of William and Mary, who were both born and educated in Scotland. Now, I used to work for a genealogical library, and every week or two, I would get a frantic call from someone, usually a realtor, who was in charge of selling the home of someone who had passed away. In these instances, 100%, the person who had died had just left everything to their children, not mentioning their genealogical work. The children were not interested, didn't want to look at it, didn't want to see it. And they told the realtor, just throw it away, take it to the dump. Oh my, makes me almost cry to think of that. And so it would be prudent for you to discuss with your attorney or estate planning agent what you would have to do to make changes in your will to fit your particular genealogical needs. I have a codicil here that is one that you can base yours on. Now, I tell you, two of the things that I'm going to talk about today will be in the next issue of Beth's Newfangled Family Tree that I'm going to send out on the internet to Electric Scotland before the 15th of this month. So if you're interested in these two articles and would like to see them, both of these are in the publication. This one and the next one, which is about how to do a query. But here is a genealogical codicil, and it could be, you can style it to fit your own situation. To my spouse, children, or guardian. Upon my demise, it is requested that you do not dispose of any or all of my genealogical records, books, files, notebooks, or computer programs for a period of 2 years. During this time period, please attempt to identify one or more persons who would be willing to take custody of all of those materials and the responsibility for maintaining and continuing the family histories. In the event that you do not find anybody to accept these materials, first, contact the various genealogical organizations that I have been a member of and determine if they will accept some parts or all of my genealogical materials. If that fails, think about donating those materials to a good genealogical libraries. There are good genealogical libraries all over this country, and you can find them by just typing in genealogical libraries in whichever state you are, and you can start with that state and then work outwards. Be sure and make provision so that your genealogical materials are not put in the dump or thrown away. In 100% of the cases where I got a call, there would be a realtor showing up at our library with their car or truck packed with books and materials, files and notebooks, all kinds of things. And all of those got good, safe homes. So just be careful with your genealogical materials. Remember that genealogy consumes a great deal of time, a lot of travel, and a lot of money. So be sure to make provisions for your genealogical things. Now, a query is a question. And in genealogy, they call a genealogical questioning little ad a query. And they are free in my publication, Beth's Newfangled Family Tree. So remember that. But here's what you need to include in your query. Who and what information are you looking for? Are you looking for a burial site, the names of the children, names of the wife, etc.? Be specific. When providing the surname, are there other spellings that may have been used? Oh my, yes, and the further back you go, the more interesting the spellings of surnames become. And in genealogy, if there's an E on the end of Green or any other name that can have an E on the end of it, doesn't make any difference. We had people coming to our genealogy library and said, that couldn't be mine. It has an E on the end. Oh my goodness. Then if the name sounds alike, it works. It will work. It might work, and you can prove it, and it will work. Use approximate dates if they are available. They are helpful in narrowing the search for birth, death, marriage. Also, add last known place where these folks were living or near. An example would be born 1848 in New York, married Sarah Webster, 1869, lived in Grant County, 1880, and was not listed as a survivor in his daughter's obituary in 1892. Add the occupation and the religion if you know them. If you are writing and sending this to someone via the United States Post Office, always include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Don't expect a reply if you are sent without one. If you're sending it to somebody else, don't expect them to address the envelope and put a stamp on it. If you are sending it to me for my paper, which is free, and the queries are free, you just have to email it to my email address, which I showed you a minute ago, but here it is again, bethscribble@aol.com. Send it any time. I have a big folder for my BNFT publication, and it is saved on the AOL cloud, so if there's a disaster with my computer, I don't lose any of the material that is saved there. Always include information in your query on how you may be located. How can they contact you and tell you what they know? In my case, just send me your email address. You can use an email address today because so many people use computers. And include your phone number if you wish. You can include your complete mailing address if you like. The more information you include, the more likely you are to be successful in locating information on your lost relatives. Now, I found an interesting little tidbit to go in our genealogy folder. Evidence has been found that William Tell, remember him? His overture is the one that was the da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-dun-dun, the William Tell overture. But that real person, William Tell, and his family were avid bowlers. I didn't know that. All of the bowling records were unfortunately destroyed in a fire just a few years ago. But because of that fire, we'll never know for whom the Tells bowled. That's a pun. You don't laugh at puns, you just look sort of disgusted, and you wait until you go in the other room away from the person who told the pun. Then you can howl with laughter. Puns are fun. Please come back again and join us. Don't forget the signal for I'm in trouble, please help me. Hand open with the palm up. Put the thumb in the middle. Close the fingers over it. If you're in trouble, this is a way to let people know that you are in trouble. And if you see somebody doing this, make all efforts to contact the police or somebody to help these people. Okay? The signal for I am in trouble and I need help. Thumb in the middle, fingers folded down. Simple enough. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you again next time, we hope. Thank you.